you have to trust the process.
What process at all is
your
there?
team is on the chopping board. Enzo Maresca has been speaking, and he said he's lost 5 games in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And 4 of those 5 games he lost have been because
Of red cards.
of red cards. Is he not just making silly excuses?
No, he's not.
Why isn't he a coach? I mean,
silly.
not once,
Yeah.
not twice,
Yeah.
not 3 times. You've lost 4 games
Yeah.
because of red cards. Does it not show that he doesn't learn?
And yeah, of course, he's part of the problem, but he's not the major or the main problem here. If you are talking about his problem, I think what he should start learning is that with a man down, he should come up with a plan for the team real quick. Because in games, anything can happen. You can get a red card at any time. But he kind of looks confused when we are a man down. We saw it against United. We saw it again against Brighton. The Gusto change was a funny one, and it didn't work for him. And Gusto didn't help him at all. But is he the major problem? No. After ending the season very well, of course, they came. My brothers here, ending the season very well. Let me draw your attention to something. It took Levi Colwill so many months to get himself acclimatized to the system that he's about to play. When he became top and was on top form, we were seeing his pressing, his counter, everything was okay for what Levi Colwill. Then he gets a big injury, and the man is asking for replacement, reinforcement that bring him materials, bring him a CCB. In his system, he plays a central centre back who does the build up for him. It's so as simple as that. The only person who can do that is Tosin, but Tosin is comfortable being a reserve player, a French player. He's not up there for the big games. He panics. The pace is funny. He can't play 5 games in a row, even a big game. So without Levi Colwill, the system looks funny.
So should you not look for another system?
So, I'm coming here. So after that, he tried to use now Gusto as his system. With what? With he hugging the line and playing a triple 10. It was working. The season began, it was working. But the injuries and the red card. Now the major injury is that without Levi Colwill, without a passer of the ball from behind, he can't. Because a champion can't do that CCB role. But the Ashley is not consistent. He's even injury prone. So the sporting directors, in collaboration with the owners, they didn't help Maresca. And if you realize that the first 2 games in the season and the preseason games, he was ranting. He was nagging that he wants a centre back. Then he stopped. After the 3rd game, he stopped. Meaning something had went on in the meeting rooms. That he has to keep quiet.
No, but he did say that, listen, the hierarchy wanted to find a solution internally. Now what we heard is that the hierarchy, and if you say the hierarchy is Wayne Stanley and his twin brother, what's his name? The other guy.
Stewart.
Stewart. Yeah, we're hearing that they had told him that, listen, we've just invested in Sarr, who we've sent back to Strasbourg because we feel he needs another full season in France to develop. He only needs to play European football to do. We've also invested in Anselmino, who we've sent to Dortmund, right? These 2 players are under the age of 20, and we believe that they are your future. So why don't you make do with what you have, and then when these guys come back, you have a full complement of your team. Now they also assured some of these players that the coach was not going to be sacked mid-season, irrespective of what happened.
Okay.
So, I mean, would you not put the hierarchy on the edge for that?
Kosi, it's as simple as it is. Badiashile cannot play the CCB role because he's more of a left centre back. Levi Colwill and Tosin cannot guarantee us winning consistency. So if you tell the coach to play a champion and the champion against Brighton, he looks funny, are you going to blame the coach for that first? No. We can blame the coach for those funny decisions with the red card, but he doesn't have the profiles to play the system he wants to play and win you games like he won you games to the club World Cup. So I don't blame Maresca first. I blame the owners and the sporting directors. We have to review their season. They've brought him, see, example, Chelsea fans. Let's look at Bonamento and Joao Felix. We all know at least Felix is better, but because of the ego of Felix and stuff, they can't let him stay and play. Another example, we've sold players, Jackson. Now, of course, funny enough, tactically, our pressing has become funny. Joao Pedro started scoring goals, so he can't press well. Our counter pressing has just gone off, and it's affecting the defense. when Jackson was around, prior to us making top 4, we press so well, we counter press so well because tactically this is what he would do.
Hey, the same Jackson way people they do this thing.
That is Chelsea fans for you.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying. He was offering something Maresca needed. He was funny with the goals. Tactically, when Jackson was around, when Liverpool moves from his position to the midfield position, then Caicedo also moved in the opponent's half and helped with the counter pressing. It was helping Chelsea defensively. So our defense was beginning from the attack. But now there's nobody to press. Joao Pedro is not pressing. He looks tight after the international break. And we don't have anybody in the defense. And it's distorting everything we want to do. So Paul Stanley and his twin brother, they have not helped Maresca. They should have convinced the owners that we need at least the man that went to Arsenal. Or at least McGee. Because McGee on the ball, he has improved. Even if you play a CCB like Tosin, McGee can balance him with the like his pace. He didn't go in for anybody. Fofana looks injured. Always funny. Gusto is not consistent. Even with James, is making mistakes consistently. Hato is not ready. Who else is there? Our defenders. Help me.
Yeah, but Hato had a pretty good game against Brighton.
Yeah, but I mean he's now picking up the pace. So we don't even have the players, the defenders. They all have issues. Fofana has his issue. Chaloba is the only consistent one now. He's to red card. He was trying for us, and that red card we can't blame him entirely. So there's a problem, and they've not helped us. Every time we win a big trophy, the narrative is that now you have to go and win the EPL or win another big trophy. Then our season looks funny. It doesn't help. So I'm not going to blame Maresca entirely for this problem that's going on, and it won't stop now because against Liverpool probably they're going to play Badiashile and Hato and the champion or with James. Is it good enough? Is Badiashile ready to surprise all of us? I'm not sure. So maybe we have to wait for international break. It will be help Chelsea. The best time for Chelsea is international break because the best.
Elikem, the King Ajo is ranting a lot and he's blaming everybody for
tactical rants.
Yeah, for Chelsea's woes, right? I mean, you can say that injuries have played a big part in Chelsea's beginning of the season. And a lot of people are tracing it back to the exertions of the Club World Cup. So a lot of their key players are out. Liam Delap, who came in as their number 9, is out. Levi Colwill is out. Romeo Lavia has recently just returned. Sorry, etc. We can go through a long list of players that are out. But isn't the essence of a good team having good backups?
Yeah, to some extent it's true. The essence of a good team is having a good backup, but first of all, like I always do, a big good evening to all our listeners and those joining us on X. Yeah, especially our followers on X. We have to shout them out because they are always loyal. Stay with us. Last week 100%. They were with us throughout the Ballon d'Or ceremony, and they are on again with us. So a big good evening to all those following us on X and those listening to us on 106.1 Sporty FM. So back to your question, Kosi. You are right in this. You are right in some sense when you say a team should have sufficient backups, but I think you are being unfair to the situation at hand when you want to not give leeway to the team in this case, because yes, a team must have sufficient backups, but you are speaking in an ideal world, and a football season. There's never a case where in an entire football season you have everything going your way ideally. There are always issues. So when we cannot sit here and say, it doesn't matter, injuries matter, officiating matters. These things are intangibles. They are little niggles that affect your season. There are things we do not pay attention to, but they affect your season. It's just funny that some weeks ago we're having a conversation and you guys were on the other side. You guys, especially, and big shout out to Winston Michaels. He's part of those who are saying that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Now you see.
What are you talking about again?
The injuries. Injuries. Officiating is not an excuse. You can't use it as an excuse. You remember? But today the tables have turned. So injuries. See, if you have certain injuries, it is going to affect the way you play. Cole Palmer is Chelsea's best player. If he has an injury, it is surely going to affect the way Chelsea plays.
And he's been injured most of the season.
Exactly. And it's even a young season. Romeo Lavia, he was brought in for this particular purpose. To help in the build-up. To be that number 6. To give Caicedo some breathing space. He's been injured most of his time, for most of his Chelsea career. It is going to affect the team. He's a £60 million player, or £50 million, whatever exact figure it is.
58 million.
Yeah, exactly. You do not spend £58 million on a player for him to get injured and do not think it will affect your season. So injuries do matter, and injuries do affect people. Injuries are supposed to affect the clubs. You understand? But there's a way to deal with it. That's the thing. To smoother the effect. You can, even though you can smoother it so much, but at the end of the day, it will affect you. But for me, it's funny listening to Ajo today. If I want to be mischievous, this guy was, before the season started, what did he say? Chelsea's unbeatable. He said Chelsea is unbeatable.
Maybe he didn't foresee.
He said he doesn't see how Chelsea is going to be beaten.
But maybe he said like,
hey, I'm asking you.
No, maybe we'll roll back the tape so.
No, maybe he didn't foresee these injuries. Maybe
like the injuries are too much.
maybe he didn't foresee the injuries.
I was always worried about Tosin. You guys remember? Let me quote that. I was always worried about Tosin. I was always worried about Tosin. I said that here countless occasions. But I knew Maresca had a plan.
If you do, I'll call one for you.
I've just realized that with Maresca, the red cards become a problem for him, and he should work on that. But for me, I was always worried about the defense, and just now our attack to defend, like I'm talking about the pressing now, it's a huge problem for me. I feel like we are in big trouble. We are in big trouble.
Because see, that being said, with all I've said, to be on a very serious note, I think there's been a lot of overreacting from Chelsea fans in the past 10 days.
True.
There's been a lot of overreacting. Aside the Bayern game, Chelsea have never lost a game with 11 men. They've not lost a game with 11 men in the Premier League. I watched the game against Manchester United, and if you watch it back, even though United started well, judging by what we know now, and they say hindsight can never be the main thing you use, but like judging by what we know now, if you go back to watch that United game, it would have been a different game had it not been that red card. I actually believe, in my personal opinion, this is not a fact, but in my personal opinion, I believe had Sanchez even allowed Mbeumo to get past him and score, and it went 1-0 to United, I saw Chelsea getting something from that game.
I think Maresca said that even in the Brighton game, before the red card, Chelsea had 70%.
Exactly. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't free flowing like you expected. Of course, performances have dropped, but they were comfortable and they were on their way to winning both. At least the Brighton game, and they were on their way to winning the Brighton game and at least get a draw from the United game. So the red cards have impacted the way Chelsea. Let's not push it aside and criticize the play. See, if you go 1 man down against a team like Brighton, who loves to keep the ball and who can actually suffocate you in possession, you are going to struggle. You give Brighton a one man advantage, a team that is very, very comfortable with keeping the ball. This is not a team like Brentford, Newcastle, or this other side that prefer for you to have the ball. Brighton love to keep the ball. So if they have that 1 man advantage, they are going to use it to the fullest. So yeah, I think there's been a lot of overreacting from Chelsea fans. There's been a lot of overreacting. It's still early days yet. Maybe the Club World Cup win. It kind of changed expectations from fans. Because I think in the minds of the fans, the Club World Cup win must have sped up their expectations, because this team, as it stands, is still not ready to win the Premier League. Compete, they can compete, but I do not think this team is ready to win the Premier League. I think they are on course. What is happening to Chelsea right now is normal. There's no cause for alarm. And there's no need to be using the crisis word at this moment. And it's kind of ridiculous when I hear them using that word for what has gone on in the last 10 days. Come on. So yeah, I think the losses hurt. I won't lie. Like if I was in the position of a Chelsea fan, it would hurt, because these are two very, very winnable games. You had the Brentford tie, losing 2 points in that manner. It hurts. But then again, there's no cause for alarm. What they need to do right now is to dust that behind them, go into the Benfica game and get back to winning ways in the Champions League. Then there's a tough time during the weekend against Liverpool.
Absolutely. And Dante. Elikem said Chelsea fans should calm down and relax and all of that. But then aren't you tired of hearing the excuses? Oh, it's a young team. You grew into it and all of that. Everybody's leaving you behind. Mourinho said, listen, there was a time when he was pained watching Chelsea because it's not the kind of Chelsea that he managed and knew. It was a Chelsea that wasn't so fixated on winning, but was fixated on other things. Wouldn't this push them further down that quagmire?
Well, so the narrative of it's a young team, it was getting deafening. But you see what happened with last season, it kind of gave an idea that the whole concept of it's a young team is dying down because they backed it with some 2 trophies. The club,
but they're still actually the youngest team in the Premier League.
Yes, but that it's a young team. Give them time. At least they bought themselves some time with that trophy, with those trophies they won last season, winning the Club World Cup, which was unexpected, and then they actually won the Conference League when everybody expected them to do so. So I think that they actually walked the talk, and then they walked the talk. However, I want to believe that the SD, the sporting director, and the club hierarchy, as Maresca has been saying it, have let him down. In the sense that, you see, you back a manager. Mostly, I am virtually of the view that no matter how young you want to build a team, you need to also put in some experience in there. And I am always of that view. Because you can see that currently this team need a certain Thiago Silva figure in the team right now. When our defenders are all over the place, you need that man to give you calm at the back. And we don't have that. We don't have any leadership in the team, especially at the back line. Rhys James is the only experienced defender we have, like looking at his age, and we call him an experienced player at this time. So it's a little bit tough to watch. And the sporting directors could have done more, could have done better by going into the market and look out for at least one solid central defender who has experience.
They actually bought one and sent him back on loan to Strasbourg.
Yeah, but
and it was puzzling.
After the core injury, right?
Yeah.
Because they took him to the Club World Cup.
Yes.
The centre back they bought.
Yes.
They took him to the Club World Cup.
So they thought that the team is well grilled enough, and then we have a core of a team that they didn't really foresee injuries coming into play. That is how I want to believe. But
they could have recalled him because
looking at how they handled the whole injury situation, saying that he can get a player from within, it gave an idea that just manage everything. And now it left in hand stop. The coach can't really handle this situation. Maresca, too, what I want to say about his management is he has shown well that he has not really developed when it comes to knowing how to manage games in terms of being one man disadvantage. If there is a red card, consistently, even you as a coach saying that all the games you've lost has come from because most of the games, or like say 90% of the games you lost in the past 5 months were because
so in the last 6 months he's lost 5 games.
And
four of them have been games where he's good.
Newcastle, Jackson, Flamingo, Jackson, Manchester United, and then last weekend. I get it. However, isn't it an indictment on your managerial setup? How do you manage teams when you are also under crisis? When you go into crisis mode, how do you manage your team? You get to Manchester United, you get a record in the earliest minute, and then you make the unprecedented series of changes ever in the English Premier League. How does that happen? And then you realize that the moment United became a 10-10, now you are biting your fingers that you shouldn't have made this change.
If not, you'd have buried them alive.
Exactly. You get it. So you can see that inexperience is on the side. No matter what he has done with the short spell with Chelsea, inexperience is on the side. When he came to Chelsea was still coming off from the Pochettino style, where we play, a very, I don't know if it's heavy metal, we play a very high pressing game, like box to box. It is so high intensity. And Maresca described it as a basketball game, especially when you look at how Chelsea played against Wolves. It was intense from pole to pole. And he didn't like that, but he had to allow the players to play according to the style that they have used over the previous season, and it was working. Jackson was scoring. That is why Cole Palmer was having the best of his season, because within the first half of the season he was the best player in the EPL. But he switched off. Why? Because as at that time, that was when Chelsea had come to be more pragmatic. Let us conserve a lot. Let us hold on to the ball, direct the style of the game, and then let the opposition play according to us. And then all teams decided to set back, because when you get the chance to play, to hit them up on the counter, we want to play a series of swings of passes before you get into the opposition. By that time, they have fully settled. But because we were playing in the Pochettino style, we were comfortable as a counter-attacking team. So almost majority of the EPO teams were comfortable coming at us, because there's an idea that they are not really good. So when Maresca came, it really worked in our favor. That is why it will puzzle you that Jackson actually scored his first goal outside the box last season in his career, especially at Chelsea last season. All the goals that we were scoring were inside the penalty area of teams. Why? Because most of our goals were either counter-attacking, and then he would be in the box at the right time. This is the time that he needs to revise his tactics. We don't have the men to play from the back. We don't have them. You have Gusto, who would choose to play the ball backwards when you have a counter-attack.
I saw that footage. I was like,
yes.
It's good he trained. It was so awful.
Yeah,
and all the rival fans were saying is, how is that possible?
You should have just run into space.
A professional player, you have a counter-attack, you have vast land ahead of you, and then you choose...
And you have the pace.
Yes. And then you choose to play the ball behind, take a square pass. And that should tell you everything about the Chelsea team we have right now. So just getting at least some... We are going to play against Liverpool. We don't have the men. Just set up according to the strength of the team, not your idea now. This is where you have to show how pragmatic you are. And then play against a team set up currently from now onwards. Just set up as a counter-attacking team. Allow the teams to play at you. And I know that with the squad that we have, the wingers that we have Gettens, who will be very happy if there are so many spaces ahead of him. Garnacho, a very good counter-attacking player. The kind of setup we have, the kind of wingers we have, suits a counter-attacking football side. And that will help. That is how I expect him to set up from now going, before we get a full completion of the team. So he should be pragmatic. That's all I can say.
But before Liverpool, the King Ajor, there's the small matter of Benfica tomorrow in the Champions League. That game has a lot of plots and subplots. Biggest is the return of Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Psychologically, would this have any effect on that game?
I think it's been an emotional game for we Chelsea fans, and we won't think about the results when the game kickstarts. We'll think about Mourinho. We reflect back on what he did for us.
Are you sure that would happen? Because Mourinho has come to Stamford Bridge, and but he's battered blue-black.
He came with rival teams, so that emotional leverage was not there at that time. But now he's coming with the Benfica side from a different, from Portugal, and we kind of miss and remember what he did for us.
But is the sentiment more important than putting 3 points on the board?
That's what I'm saying. Before the game kickstarts, we'll feel that. But when the game is heated, I think it will all be gone and we'll enjoy the game. But I want Maresca to have a conversation with Mourinho tomorrow. No. For me, from a coaching point of view, I think it's important. That dugout is a very hot seat. He has been there before. Won it all, seen it all. But he didn't win the Champions League. I think ask for his blessings. Ask him how he did it. Ask staff. He's, to me, the best ever to do this.
But times have changed. Seasons have changed.
That is what these modern coaches are getting wrong. Just one advice from him to you: it will be in your head forever, and you will listen and you work. You work with it. It happens. So I feel like that conversation. It will even help us Chelsea. That convo should happen. Let him teach you one or two things. He was there before you. You can't take that away.
He was there, a decade or so ago.
And he won a lot. He won four EPL titles.
Yeah, but Maresca has come in and won 2 trophies in one season.
He has not won the EPL yet. And he can get that blessings and even win the Champions League for Chelsea. So that convo should happen for me. I hope it does. But for the game, I think Chalobah can play this game. So we have Chalobah, we have Badiashile, we have Hato. So we should do what to at least mop up a very okay defense. But we must win this game, because Chelsea must win this game. If Chelsea does not win this game, at least get a draw. You can't lose this game and lose the Liverpool. Because Liverpool game looks like you will lose that game. They are coming as wounded lions. They've lost in London. They can't lose in London twice. That's what I feel. If Chelsea win that game, I'll be surprised. But I think tomorrow we should just send a statement. We have to win a game. At least win that game and prepare yourself for the next game against Ajax. I'm expecting big things. I'm hearing Caicedo is even injured.
No, he said he was being assessed. Yeah, so Caicedo, Joao Pedro, and one other player were being assessed.
I feel they are all still
and Andre Santos.
They are all not key from the international break. I think there are problems in this Chelsea team. But of course, in January we should react. Just get one. One.
But we've heard Chelsea have money in reserve for a centre back
so
at least in
January. Fast in January, even November.
But wouldn't that have people overpricing their players? I mean, imagine everybody knows that you need a player.
The Chelsea I know don't joke with their scouting and recruitment.
So they should go and get another raw.
No, not raw. Somebody who can fix the problem.
And who can fix the problem?
Anybody who can fix the problem.
Can you name 2 people in world football now who can fix the problem?
One has gone to Arsenal.
Who?
Pierre.
Gueye was available.
But
is he a CCB? Can he play that position? He's more of it.
My problem is 2 things. If you don't get a CCB, get a defender with enough pace who can at least do the basics in football, can pass and defend.
But who's available? Just name 2 players now.
The work of the sporting directors.
No, I mean,
for me, I've not done that research yet. Not yet, but I have a name.
What's the name?
The Brighton centre back.
Which one?
What's his name?
Van Hecke.
Van Hecke.
You want to play Van Hecke in the Chelsea team?
No, he solves that problem for you. That's the thing. No. When we go for job, everybody was nagging. We go for players, Chelsea fans will nag, but they come and solve problems. He's the CCB. What Cole was doing, he can do it. And he also has space. When he comes to Chelsea, he can evolve. He's a problem solver. That's all. I don't care if he's good or bad, but he can solve the problem. He's a ball-playing centre back. His passes are accurate and very progressive. So he's off head. He's the one I can mention for now.
Okay, I'll come to you, Ellie. But I want to ask the Chelsea fans this question as well. Andante. Today we saw rumours that the sporting directors and Begdad Egbali have started speaking to the likes of Iraola and Dizebi. They are still rumours. If there's any juice whatsoever in those rumours, is it the right thing to do? Have they lost their way in diagnosing the problem with their team?
I think it would not be a matter of results. It would be a matter of clash of ideas. It was clash of ideas that led to the sack of Titi. And they brought in Porter. But Porter was left because the result was really bad. Now we bring in Poch. And Poch started demanding. He didn't want to be a yes man. And then Poch had to go after living up to his expectation. The same thing is happening with Enzo Maresca. He started complaining. If he leaves, it's not because of the results. It's not because there is a problem he's failing to fix. It's because he started demanding. And he's right in every sense to demand. It will be a very harsh decision. I don't want to believe those rumors anyway, but it will be a very harsh decision.
In countering those rumors, the Villanueva said the players who signed for Chelsea in the summer were promised that there wouldn't be a change of manager mid-season.
Exactly. But I don't really want to believe this sort of thing will happen. Whatever is going on, I understand it's part of any institution, business, everywhere it happens. There are sometimes clash of ideas, but they should be able to handle it better, because now they become the common denominator. Whether they like it or not, they are now the common denominators. You guys have had several coaches exiting the door, but you guys are still there. Then everybody start pointing fingers at you, because Wayne Stanley, Stewart, you guys are the ones who have been doing the managerial changes. You guys have been sacking managers, bringing in new managers or coaches, and when they come in, you take them back again. So I think that it's high time we as Chelsea fans realize that the problem is not really at the man who sits in the dugout, but those who take the decisions. And sooner or later, they cannot hide from that fact anymore that they've disappointed the team in terms of their recruitment plan.
Absolutely. Mr. Elikem, you said Chelsea fans shouldn't panic.
Oh, yeah.
So where does Chelsea go from here?
They go to Benfica. You prepare for your next game. The good thing about playing a game every 3 days is that you have the opportunity to set things right. And you see, it's difficult because there's a clear shortage of centre backs at Chelsea. That's the truth. And it's due to injuries, due to red cards, whatever you may call it. But yeah, they need, and the Champions League in such a way that you do not get to face teams twice. So you do not stop a team from moving forward. Like, you see, in the old system, when you beat a team, and it is almost like a 6-pointer. There are times where it's almost like a 6-pointer, because when you are chasing, both of you are competing for a position. You stop the person and you can beat him home and away. and impede their movements. But this is a case where you only face the team once and then you are left on your own to fight your own battles. So yeah, it's a different type of Champions League we are playing now, and they need to just focus and get back on winning race in the Champions League. Make sure they get their Champions League campaign back on track, and then they can think of Liverpool later. So yeah.
So they said they go to Benfica next. Chelsea fans, hold your thoughts or horses.
Benfica comes to Stamford Bridge instead. Yeah.
Okay, hold your horses. We'll get back into this later, where you get to share your thoughts on what you think is wrong. Is Maresca the one to blame or not? What happens with this Chelsea team? Now we go to a very controversial issue. That's